name is Susan Traugh. I'm the author of Transition to Life and Daily Living Skills. Today we're going to talk about 3-ingredient cookies. Sometimes you just need a cookie, and if you don't cook, it might be difficult to put all the ingredients together to make a cookie. But we are going to make a very simple peanut butter cookie today with just 3 ingredients. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is crack an egg. Now, if you're not good at cracking eggs, the best thing to do is hit it on the side pretty hard, and it'll crack it all the way across, and then drop it. Oh, look at this, I got a double yolk egg. Drop it into a saucer. If you do that, if any little pieces of the shell get in there, you can take the other half of the shell and scoop it up. And believe it or not, your eggshell acts like a magnet, and it just pulls those little pieces of egg right into the shell, and then you can throw them away. Once you know that your egg doesn't have any shell in it, then you can drop it into your bowl, and you know that everything's good to go. Once your egg is in there, then the next thing we need to do is put some sugar in. This recipe is pretty easy. It calls for 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, and 1 egg. In this case, we have 2 yolks, but it's still considered 1 egg. So you put in a cup of sugar until it's flat across the top and pour it in. The last ingredient is peanut butter. Now, peanut butter is sticky. If you have some Pam spray or some of the other sprays that you can put on cookie sheets, then you should put that into your cup measurer before you get started so that your peanut butter doesn't stick in your cup measure. We're going to take and start scooping out peanut butter. I'm using crunchy peanut butter because my family likes their peanut butter cookies with a little bit of crunch to them. But if you don't, use smooth peanut butter. Either way, the recipe's the same. So we're going to put in a cup of peanut butter and make sure that we fill up all of those edges so that we actually have a full cup. See how that extra part just goes right in there? And now I have a cup of peanut butter. Then I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put my spoon in here so that it doesn't get sticky on the counter. And before I start stirring, I need to set my oven to 350 degrees. So I turn it on, I set it to 350 and get it started. And it's going to start preheating while I finish cooking. And by the time I've got my cookies on the sheet and ready to go in, my oven will be hot enough to put them in. Mary is filming this video for me, and Mary doesn't like loud noises. So I am not going to use a mixer right now because Mary doesn't like that sound. If that doesn't bother you, you can use a mixer on a low setting to start mixing this all together. But if you're like Mary and loud sounds bother you, then you can just stir this together with the back of a fork like I'm doing, and it mixes together pretty quickly. Once we have it all stirred together, and you want to make sure that none of the egg white is still here or none of the sugar granules are still visible. You want it to all look like one creamy mix, and you can't tell where the sugar is, where the eggs are. Everything's just mixed together. Just like that. I've taken a cookie sheet and I've put some parchment paper on it so that my cookies don't stick. You can also just take a clean cookie sheet and use that to make your cookies. You don't have to have parchment on it. It'll just be a little harder to wash when you're done. I also use a melon scooper because it makes it really easy to get my cookie out and then drop it on my parchment paper. I go ahead and I'm going to put 3 across and 4 down to make enough room for them to spread out as they cook, but still get enough cookies on here that I'm not making cookies all day. And you see, the thing with the melon ball scoop is that it keeps all your cookies the same size, and then they'll bake a little better because they're all uniform. Once the cookies are on the cookie sheet, I want to take a little bit of sugar, just a tiny bit, a tablespoon or so, and put it in a small dish. Then I have a clean fork. These cookies, I could bake them just like this, and they come out as little balls of cookie. But I like my peanut butter cookies to be a little flat, and I also like them to be a little fancy. So I'm going to take my fork and put it in my sugar and then hit it. And just touch here, and it starts flattening my cookies out. And it makes this little design on there. And you notice I do it in between each one so that it doesn't stick. You saw how it kind of stuck on the first one. It won't stick on the rest with the sugar on the back. So I finished going all the way through with all of my cookies. And now I'm going to turn around and go the other way. So it makes that little crisscross checkerboard on the top of my cookies. Now, you may not go as fast as I am. I've been doing this for a long time. Take your time and just go ahead and do it. If they don't turn out, there's a couple here that didn't turn out straight crisscrossed. I don't care. They'll still be very beautiful cookies. Then when they're all done, I'm going to put them in the oven and bake them for 6 to 8 minutes. So if I need to know that I've cooked them just enough, I'm going to set my timer for 6 minutes and let it start cooking. And then if they need an extra minute, I'll go ahead and give them the extra minute, but I don't want to set it too long. You can always cook longer, but you can't uncook cookies. I've got some other cookies in here so that you can see what they look like when they're done. We'll put this new one in so that we can take advantage of the timer. And now here are my finished cookies. I'm going to let them sit on the cookie sheet for just a minute so that they can kind of settle down before I take them off the cookie sheet. But then I'm going to cool them on a piece of wax paper or a plate so that they can cool nicely. And once they're cool, I'm going to enjoy. I hope you like this. Enjoy making cookies, and I will put the recipe at the bottom. 1 cup sugar, 1 cup peanut butter, 1 egg. Take care.